Good evening from San Ignacio Town. With the 9 o'clock news, I am Patrick Jones. In the headlines, Cabinet approves a ban on offshore exploration in areas around World Heritage Sites in Belize. President-elect of Guatemala invites Prime Minister Dean Barrow to his inauguration next month. And Belize joins in observing World AIDS Day. Stay tuned for details of these and other stories coming up after these messages.
The first Noel, the angel did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. They looked up and saw a star shining in the east.
The Belize Tire Depot, your one-stop destination. What you will find is a first-class selection of solid, dependable, quality products from the names you can trust. We carry a full line of urea and SureTech tools and equipment to meet every need, from light maintenance around the house to heavy-duty fieldwork. Our tire workshop features the full array of Pirelli, Nexen, and Nankang tires for every vehicle and any terrain. Our trained technicians' #1 priority is to ensure you and your family's safety and security on the road. It's all here at the Belize Tire Depot. From reliable equipment, world-class time-tested tires, to sturdy, durable tools. Merchandise that's built to last with quality guaranteed.
Are you always on the go? Tired of missing your favorite games while they're actually being played? Watch your games and sporting events live with Central TV and Internet's incredible MyTV. Simply log on to www.mitv.bz to get easy access to 25 channels, no matter where you are. With Central TV and Internet's MyTV, you're always in the game.
Here now is the news in details. Cabinet has approved a ban on offshore oil exploration along the Belize Barrier Reef System and near the 7 World Heritage Sites in Belize. That's the announcement that came out of today's cabinet meeting in Belmopan. According to a government press release, Cabinet has agreed to specifically ban offshore exploration at the Bacalar Chico Marine Reserve and National Park, Kikauka Marine Reserve and National Park, Lighthouse Reef Natural Monument, Southwater Key Marine Reserve, Laughing Bird Key National Park, Glover's Reef Marine Reserve, and Sapadilla Key Marine Reserve. The official release explains that the ban includes 448 square miles, and with a ban on 1 kilometer on either side of the Belize Barrier Reef System, it means that an additional 868 square miles are now under the offshore exploration ban. And while it is not a total ban on offshore drilling, the official release makes clear that Cabinet has agreed that areas that fall outside of the areas under the ban are not automatically open to seismic activities and exploration. Stringent environmental studies to determine critical habitat and sensitive zones will guide the way forward for exploration in the other areas not covered by the offshore exploration ban. The government press release ends by saying that today's cabinet decision demonstrates government's resolve to ensure the continued protection of Belize's Barrier Reef System and the 7 World Heritage Sites. Prime Minister Dean Barrow met on Saturday with the Guatemalan-elect President Jimmy Morales at his Belize City office. According to a government press release, the meeting was held in a cordial atmosphere, and both leaders congratulated each other on their recent respective election victories. The official release says that discussion between Barrow and Morales included bilateral relations between Belize and Guatemala and a way forward in respect of resolving our historical differences. The government release says that both Mr. Barrow and Mr. Morales affirmed their commitment to utilizing the 2005 Framework Agreement and confidence-building measures to strengthen the processes that already exist for good neighborly relations so that the two countries may continue to live in peace and as friends, pending a legal resolution to the territorial dispute. Guatemala has maintained a centuries unfounded claim to over half of Belize's territory, and in the run-up to the presidential election in Guatemala, Morales had campaigned on a promise to pursue that claim. Prime Minister Barrow has gone on record as saying that Morales has since walked back on his campaign rhetoric, and during Saturday's courtesy call, both sides agreed to make a greater effort to enhance cooperation and understanding at various levels, especially in areas of security, business, trade, and investment. The government press release concludes by saying that President-elect Morales has invited Prime Minister Barrow to his inauguration in January 2016. Prime Minister Barrow says that he has every intention of attending the Guatemalan presidential inauguration. The President-elect of Guatemala was accompanied to the meeting with Prime Minister Barrow by Foreign Minister Carlos Raul Morales, Diplomatic Liaison Officer Rodrigo Colmenares, Guatemalan Ambassador to Belize Estuardo Roldan, and Guatemala's Director of Integration Sandra Jovel. Prime Minister Barrow had at his side Chief Executive Officer in the Prime Minister's Office Audrey Wallace, Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Lawrence Sylvester, and Belize's Ambassador to Guatemala Alexis Rosado. Two teenagers have been arraigned on a charge of murder in connection with the death of businessman Ruben Perez. Perez was fatally wounded at his business place late last week when he was accosted by two men at his aggregates business on Vernon Street. The suspects arrested and charged have been identified as 18-year-old Keon Dennison of Dangriga and 19-year-old Tyrone Reed of Belize City. Magistrate Deborah Rogers did not take a plea from the teenagers, and they were remanded to the Belize Central Prison until their next court appearance on January 29th. You're watching the 9 o'clock news. We will have more of the day's stories for you right after these messages. More vehicle owners are switching to the PureGuard line of motor oils, and with good reason. PureGuard comes in different grades and specifications. It carries the API certification and comes with the Westrack stamp of approval, guaranteed to make your engine run cleaner and longer, up to 10,000 miles. With PureGuard motor oil, your engine will have less wear and tear, give you maximum performance on the road, and give your vehicle better fuel mileage.
PureGuard, good quality, affordable oil.
Distributed exclusively by Westrack Limited, with branches in Spanish Lookout, Belmopan, Belize City, and Orange Walk Town.
Are you always on the go? Tired of missing your favorite games while they're actually being played? Watch your games and sporting events live with Central TV and Internet's incredible MyTV. Simply log on to www.mitv.bz to get easy access to 25 channels, no matter where you are. With Central TV and Internet's My TV, you're always in the game.
Welcome back to the 9 o'clock news. The 6th edition of the Inspiration Calendar was launched today in Belize City, along with the 5th edition of the Inspiration Agenda. The documents are the collaborative effort of McNabb Design and the Office of the Special Envoy for Women and Children. According to an official release, the launch was an exciting event for the children with disabilities who created the artworks featured in the calendars. Families and friends of the artists came from all over the country to attend the launch today at the Inspiration Center's conference room. During the ceremony, the Special Envoy presented each child with a signed copy of the calendar, which has become an effective awareness tool to reduce the stigma and discrimination against persons with disability. Also, during today's launch, the director of McNabb Design Limited and Dots Per Inch, Tanya McNabb, handed over a check for $24,000, which is the proceeds from the sale of agendas. Also presented this morning was a donation from the government of Taiwan in the sum of $400,000, which is earmarked to strengthen the Inspiration Center's community-based rehabilitation program and to ensure the sustainability of the facility. The official release concludes by saying that Mrs. Kim Simplice Barrow is grateful to McNabb Design, all supporters of the annual fundraising effort, and especially the government of Taiwan and Taiwan's ambassador to Belize, Benjamin Ho, who facilitated their donation. The funds received today will go a long way in ensuring that children with disabilities continue to have access to the essential services provided by the Inspiration Center. Belize today joined the rest of the world in observing World AIDS Day. The observance was first carried out in 1988 and is held on December 1st each year to provide an opportunity for people worldwide to unite in their fight against HIV, show their support for people living with HIV, and to commemorate people who have died. According to the World Health Organization, globally, there are an estimated 34 million people who live with the virus, or that should be who have the virus. Despite the virus only being identified in 1984, more than 35 million people have died of HIV and AIDS, making it one of the most destructive pandemics in history. In Belize, various activities were held today, including a mini fair organized by the National AIDS Committee in Punta Gorda town. The Permanent Council of the Organization of American States today received the 20th report on the mission to support the peace process in Colombia, presented by the Secretary for the Strengthening of Democracy, Francisco Guerrero. The report, presented twice a year, highlights the important advances in efforts to reach peace made by the Colombian government, in particular those related to the issues of transitional justice, reintegration, integral reparation to victims of the conflict, and security. The document also urges the creation of mechanisms to allow the various sectors of society to express their interests and understanding of the process underway with the FARC, and highlights the importance of the participation and commitment of civil society. Secretary Guerrero emphasized that the experiences gained during the 11 years of operation of the MAP OAS in Colombia can be of great utility and relevance in the future of the country. The meeting also included a report on the 10th meeting of Ministers of Justice or other Ministers of Attorneys General of the Americas held in Bogota on October 15th and 16th. Presented by the Permanent Representative of Colombia to the OAS, Andres Gonzalez. During the council meeting, the Minister of the Interior and Public Security of Chile, Jorge Burgos Varela, made a presentation on the new citizen security paradigm in his country. The council also elected Canadian Michelle Bastarache as a new member of the OAS Administrative Tribunal. The news on the national channel.
The first Noel, the angel did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. They looked up and saw a star shining in the east.
Are you always on the go? Tired of missing your favorite games while they're actually being played? Watch your games and sporting events live with Central TV and Internet's incredible MyTV. Simply log on to www.mitv.bz to get easy access to 25 channels, no matter where you are. With Central TV and Internet's MyTV, you're always in the game.
The final segment of the news tonight is a look at the weather, and it shows that dry conditions will set in and prevail over our area heading into the second part of the week. The general forecast for Belize and her coastal waters is for partly cloudy skies tonight and tomorrow morning. Expect only isolated showers. Winds over the open sea and along the coast will be northerly to northwesterly at 5 to 15 knots. The sea state will be choppy. Low temperatures at dawn will be around 74 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 68 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and 64 degrees Fahrenheit up in the hills. High temperatures on Wednesday will be around 85 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 88 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and a comfortable 77 degrees Fahrenheit up at the exposed areas of the mountain Pine Ridge and along the Maya Mountains in the south. The tides. A low tide is now occurring. This will be followed by a high tide at 11 minutes to 2 o'clock in the morning. The sun will rise at 7 minutes past 6 o'clock in the morning. It will set at 17 minutes past 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. The extended forecast, valid through to Thursday afternoon, is for mainly fair weather on Wednesday afternoon, but skies will become cloudy with some showers or light rain, mainly over the coast tomorrow night and on Thursday morning. And that is a look at the weather with information provided by forecasters Derek Rudon and Ronald Gordon at the Belize Weather Bureau. To end the news, we take a look at the headlines again. Cabinet approves a ban on offshore exploration in areas around World Heritage Sites in Belize. President-elect of Guatemala invites Prime Minister Dean Barrow to his inauguration next month. And Belize joins in observing World AIDS Day today. With the headlines, we end this edition of the 9 o'clock news. Thank you for joining us. I am Patrick Jones. Have a good evening and a good night.